So what do you do when you can't trust FEMA and a state licensed contractor? Well, let me tell you a story. Shortly after Hurricane Ian, we got a phone call from a local client that needed mold inspection and protocol written. We were referred by a remediator, a large remediator in the area. So when I get there, I do my interview trying to find out the facts. And during Hurricane Ian, they were getting a lot of water in at the floor level on the north side of the house. Well, Hurricane Ian came at us from the north and the east, so this makes sense. During the storm, the clients were sopping up water to help minimize damage and mold growth and that kind of thing. They noticed the floors started to buckle and cup in the northeast bedroom. They eventually pulled those floors up, and then they called FEMA. So a FEMA inspector came out and did an inspection, and they're the ones that said you have mold and you need to call a mold remediator. So I said, well, where did they find mold? And the client says, well, they wouldn't tell her that they had mold and needed to call a remediator. So I'm like, okay. That actually really didn't bother me because I like to form my own opinion anyway. So I go and I do my investigation, and I'm not finding anything. I'm also using my FLIR E95 thermal gun, and I can't find anything. I've got a GE protimeter. I found a little bit of elevated moisture readings, but in the hallway far from the northeast side. I'm moving things in the closet. I'm moving furniture. I even pulled baseboard back from the wall. I can't find any visual fungal growth anywhere. Now I'm afraid of getting skunked and embarrassed. We ultimately did some mold testing, air testing, and swabs, all of which came back negative for mold. I'm thinking, I'm getting set up, I'm on hidden camera somewhere, so I did the best I can. And in the meantime, she had called a contractor, a waterproofing contractor, to come. This is before I got there. She had called this waterproofing contractor to waterproof the north side of the home. So the contractor shows up and he does this trench and fill method with a product called Prime Resins XLV. I was not real familiar with it, so I looked it up. I read as much as I could, watched all the videos, and this product is typically applied with a drill and fill type of application. It's for dams and pools and stuff like that that's leaking. The product is a hydrophilic product, which means that it attracts water. So now I know I've got a contractor that is using the wrong product, that doesn't know what he's doing. And when I'm talking to her about this, telling her what I found out, she says, well, it kind of makes sense because he was using the same product in the backyard to help lift a patio slab. And I'm like, absolutely. The only thing she's getting from this contractor is ripped off. So let me show you what the scenario looks like. So let me set this up for you. This is a crude drawing of what her home looks like. And you can see it's got a single slope that slopes towards the right. So to make things worse, she has a significant negative grade on this north side where the storm came from. And when the storm started to rain, of course, the water hits the roof. It is directed down towards the right side where the grading, because it's negative, again, directs the water towards the home. She called in a waterproofing contractor, state licensed waterproofing contractor, to come in and take care of this. So what he does is a little trench and fill product right here on the right side. Now, I wasn't familiar with what kind of product it was, but I'm looking at this thing going, something's not right. Right? It was just common sense. It just didn't look right. So the right side, this is where her negative grade was. And I'm looking at a product that, like I said, was trench and fill. And it looks ugly, and you can see that it's already delaminating. I could put a finger down here and it pulls right off the house. Well, the envelope was in very poor condition. You can actually see in the picture on the left here where the paint is peeling off. And this just wasn't going to work. They've actually poured the stuff in and around the grass. There's debris in it. There's sand on the walls. So it continues to delaminate. I can slide my card in here. You've got cracks that extend below grade. And where's the water go? Well, duh, it's going to go in the hole. And all of the roof, the lack of gutters, the negative grading, it all directs the water right here. When you apply a 100-mile-an-hour wind to this side, well, what do you expect? Well, because the envelope is in such poor condition, you've got cracks around the windows, you've got cracks following masonry lines, and she had water intrusion all over the place. Because the water got in the cracks, gravity is pretty predictable and maintenance free, pulls it down, and again, it just kept feeding from the bottom, from the floor level anyway, coming into her home. So if you find yourself one day, hopefully not anytime soon, but you need some honest help, we'd be happy to represent you. Please give us a call, 407-678-HOME. That's 407-678-4663. We look forward to representing you.